Hey Tony, how's it going, man?
Doing well, man. Been a couple weeks since we got together, so yeah, life is good. How are
Yeah,
you?
for sure. It's been crazy 2 weeks. And I'm sure you said leading into this that it's been a crazy two couple weeks for you. We had the 4th of July holiday, so anything can happen around the holidays
Yeah,
in a sense of busyness.
yeah.
Things just kind of pop up, or even just in getting with family, that can always lead to an interesting discovery or a fun time or not so fun time. You never know how that's going to turn out. Um, and of course, with kids, which is what we're doing, we're talking about, and new kids and young kids, people don't really know how to be around the kid in the sense of it's literally a new entity
Yeah.
into maybe 80-year relationships, if you think about it like that.
Yeah, that's very true. It's definitely a new addition, and you have to take into account, different routines and things that the baby likes and doesn't like, and that's something we see a lot, as me and
Well,
Trevor with our
even
son as well.
even more so with like the dynamics
Yeah.
that are different between people, two aunties that don't like each other, or you know what I mean? All of a sudden the dynamic changes with a new being in place. Uh, at the same time, like can go to dislike, and dislike can go to like. If people just a new side of you is revealed. If you think about it, whenever a new person enters your life,
Hmm.
if you have new friends, you start a new school and it's new people, you have to adapt to that, and you become a slightly newer person.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Sounds like you had a lot that went on with your visit. So let's start with yours. How was the trip with your family?
Um, it was good. It was fine. Um, we had about a crazy month, really, because first the baby got congested,
Mm,
sick, but she never acted sick other than just having difficulty maybe sleeping a little bit.
hmm.
She was just cheerful and jumping around, but she was super congested. That led to other people in the house getting sick, kind of on a rolling basis, not at the same time, which
Yeah.
I usually hear that, oh, we all got sick at the same time, but this was kind of rolling.
Hmm.
So that was tough in a sense. Like it's not so hard, like we barely made it out, but it's tough and just, you know, your concern increases for another person, but your alertness was already so high with the baby.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's funny you talk about the rolling sickness. I've seen that in our house as well. Like Legend come home sick, and then I'll get sick first, then I'll like just get past it, and then my wife will get sick. And then
Yeah,
Legend might get sick again from the like so it's kind of like one of those perpetual sicknesses depending
perpetual
on
sicknesses.
yeah. So but yeah, that's life, especially having a kid under like 3.
Totally, totally. How has 3 years old been? Has it been any?
Woo!
Has there? Has it been noticeable? He's been three for a couple months now.
Yeah, it's
Just over a month. Just over a
yeah.
month.
Definitely noticeable. Like his birthday is June 9th, and I feel like June 10th he just switched. And like people always talk about the terrible twos, but they neglect the threes. And two was fine. Three has been just a mess. And he's in the very much the why and the no stage for everything.
Hmm.
Like, and he's extremely verbose, so he talks a lot. So it's like trying to deal with like a lawyer and like why are we doing it this way? What? No, I don't want to do that. Like he's very headstrong, which is good, but sometimes you just want to be like, man, we're gonna choke you out. But nah, it's been a lot, but it's a good
it's
it's a
casual,
good stage. Me and my wife talk
casual
about that all the
MMA.
time. Like it's good. But yeah, it's fun though,
Well,
and because
it's
you see his
interesting.
independence a lot too.
It's interesting because I was thinking about this and I did a 10-minute solo pod
Oh, nice.
talking about this, where it's like, in a sense, we know that kids are going to do that, like
Yeah.
the Y stage, like we know they're going to enter that. is there a way to think about it or approach it with that as an expectation instead of reacting to it, which often leads to like an annoyance? You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
wondering about how we can reprogram our brains and how we react to things.
it's funny because I was thinking about this not too long ago too, and for us, and I don't know how it is across the board, but it went so quickly because we're like, oh, we're excited he knows how to talk, and then he started, questioning everything. So like, it's a very quick switch. There's not like a long, oh, he knows how to talk and he's just cool and cute
Sure,
talking,
sure.
and then he goes to questioning you, like knowing
It's
why.
like
First two
it's like
questions,
they gain awareness and then they instantly
instantly
like,
turn against
why
you.
why should I be aware? Why
Yeah,
am I on this?
instantly
Like,
turn
oh, I'm
against
on
you.
this planet. I think therefore I am. And then it's just like, why though?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I didn't ask to be here. It's, in the back of their
And
subconscious.
he's in this stage of like he knows he can do like cute things, and so he'll like test, like he's a habitual line tester. Like he'll do something like really bad, then do something
Habitual
really
line
cute,
tester.
and then he knows that that cute thing will probably supersede the bad thing because all he has to do is go to one of us like that was cute, and then he gets past it. So he's very much into testing
Wait,
boundaries.
wait.
They're
So you're
all
falling for it too?
Oh yeah, both of us. Yeah, I mean, and because so it's so funny because
Now
he
see,
gives like these big dad hugs, and like he knows I love the dad hugs and kisses. So he
what
goes
this
and does
is
something
this is the
bad to his
role of the
mom.
father. This is the
Yeah,
role of the father, right?
that's it. Yeah,
No,
like
this is the role. Like where you gotta be tough. You got to get to the
not
bottom. You can't just
not
be like,
yet.
I got a hug and you win,
Yeah, well, I
you
mean, at
know?
this point, because again, it's still new. Like I said, we're still like we still don't know what words he knows, and every day he comes up with a new word or phrase. Like, oh, that was cute, but then he like
Oh man.
tells us no or throw something at it. Like it's very much that balance
I'm
of like
hearing
good and
excuses. I'm hearing
evil.
excuses,
They might be excuses, but you'll see. Okay, we gonna wait till
No, it's gonna
your
be
daughter.
even
Yeah.
worse. It's gonna be
I
even
was just
worse
saying,
because
well,
it's a girl.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We'll wait to
Yeah.
see what you say at that point. But no, it's fun though, man. Like I said, you see the independence in him. You see his personality. Like he's super helpful around the house when he wants to be. I'm like, let's go upstairs,
I
get
mean,
daddy
that's a
his
great
water
quality.
bottle, and
Yeah.
he'll come down. Yeah, I mean, he went and got a whole outfit the other day. We told him to get some underwear. He came back with a shirt, underwear, and shorts, and they all matched. And I'm like, you're gonna wear this today? And
Yeah,
it was
like those are
a great
daddy's
outfit.
clothes.
Yeah, right.
You can't wear a
Yeah.
large men's large. You told me to
With
get
mommy's
clothes. I
skirt.
got
Yeah, with
clothes.
mommy.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun, man. Like I said, there's good and bad with every stage, but you're starting to see you're starting to realize at this stage that he's actually a child. Like, it's not just a baby where you're taking care of 24/7. It's
Right.
actually an addition to the household that can actually help things at certain stages.
So how far do you think that can be pushed? I only ask that because you see videos all the time randomly of like whatever year old, literally almost any age, doing something that you're like, oh, kids can do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, how do you push these things into like cement them in their mind so they always are like, this is like this. I got to clean it. You know what I mean? I think that's the eternal question of parents. It's like, oh, is there a way to like almost? It's really programming. Is there a way to program my kid to
What we've seen is
never
just
be able to take a full trash can, like always have to take out the trash or always, want to be
that's a
helpful?
perfect example, mimicking, because they love to mimic their parents. So like Legend comes out to help me with the trash all the time. Now when I say help, he carries like a
Now
box,
here's the
but he
question: what is
mimics
your attitude towards taking out the trash?
I don't mind it. Like, it's a necessary evil because the house would stink without it.
Uh,
But
see,
so yeah.
that's part of what I'm wondering though. Like, do we change our attitude to these tasks and not pass on a negative attitude about the task?
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good point. Yes, I think for if you show that it's something fun and exciting, like they'll want to do it. And again, it could be like eating broccoli or eating something they don't want to, or doing something they don't want to do, like going to bed. Even sometimes we
but
play a little game around it, and it
but you're
has
getting
helped.
at the age where pretty soon that's not going to work like a
Oh
fake
yeah, oh,
attitude. So what I'm saying is a permanent attitude shift from the parent, a different outlook or perspective on a thing so that the kid doesn't ever think you're scamming it. You know what I mean? You're kind of scamming them when you're like,
we're
oh, this
always
is great.
scamming kids. Yeah, we're
You know
always
what I
scamming
mean?
kids. That's a good question. Like I would love to talk to somebody who has like a 6 year. Well, actually, we need to bring on the last guest, Jay,
Yeah, we
who has
bring Jay
two
back
kids. Yeah,
or
because he gave me some really good information. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
he was
what we're
he was
seeing,
great, and he was like,
definitely.
you
Yeah,
know, I was kind of got nervous thinking about, you know, who could be listening, and not like any specific person, just being
yeah,
on air. And he was like, I was like, no, it went great, man. You gave us a lot to think
yeah.
about.
It was really good. I learned a lot and actually applied some of those principles of what he said, and it worked to a certain degree. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know how it was going to be long term, but I do understand like his personality is forming now. So having that attitude of, like I said, even if it's something that we don't like doing, whatever, just having a little bit more of a open mind
yeah,
toward new things, I think that's helping him as well.
yeah. I'll circle back around to that, and then yeah, so then one of my partners aunts visited because her dog passed, so she
Okay.
came like kind of
Condolences.
late notice.
Yeah.
But she stayed with another aunt, kind of twisted her knee while she was here for a bit. So that was like
Oh
a small
no.
thing, just like pain, you know, just a little pain, but it was okay. Then we had right after she left, my mom and sister and nephew, sorry, nephew came by for like about like the week, like Sunday through Friday.
Yeah.
And everybody got health, you know, pretty much healthy just in time, and the visits were fine. It was just
Good.
such a long time to be mixing routines
Yes.
with all the visits and everybody wanting to hold her, and then maybe trying to get food with people. So it was nice just in this past weekend to get back to it's just, you know, us three here with
Yeah.
her parents, but you know, we're not all always doing everything together, you know. So it's back
It's
to like
isolated. Yeah.
a normal routine, and then we have this big yard sale, like a neighborhood wide yard sale
Nice.
that we're participating in. That's
Mm.
tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be
So that
fun.
is another thing. It's like, oh, okay, it's another thing, but we do have a lot of stuff to get rid of. So I'm being positive about that.
See, look at attitude change. But not back to what you had mentioned just about the
Exactly.
routine. That's literally the first thing that we talk about when like because so this last week I traveled to North Carolina, South Carolina to see my parents, and Trevi and Legend went up to the Bay to see her parents, and we were away from each other for a while. And when we got back, like okay, now we got to reestablish the routine. And it's been summer the whole
Okay,
time, so
so
it's been a different routine. And now we have to get back. Like so, the routines are always changing, and that you had mentioned that because yeah, that's the first thing. We're like, okay, we got to get
but
back to a
like
new routine now.
so you guys split up. You went to
Yep.
what, North Carolina or
Yeah,
South?
North. So both. So I flew to North Carolina because my brothers live in Raleigh, and then we drove to South Carolina to visit my parents.
Together.
So I was there
Okay.
for 5 days, and then Trevor was gone for 7 days.
And she was up in
Legend.
the Bay up
Yeah.
here?
Yep.
Okay.
Up in the Bay.
Okay.
So
With Legend with her family
yeah. Yep.
taking it.
So she
Okay.
it was
And then
funny
you
because that
guys
was the
met
first time
back.
flying. Yep.
That was whose first time flying?
Well, her first time taking Legend on a solo flight. So we
Oh,
talked
just the two
about
of them.
just the two of them, and then me being gone. And it
So
was just
how did that
funny.
go?
He did well. So again, he's a habitual line tester, but she said he did very well. It traveling. I talked to him, pretty often, once or twice a day, either on screen time or just on the phone, and he loved it. He went to see his cousins. He had a good time, and I like when he hangs out with his older cousins because again, it gets him out of his comfort zone of like his mom babies him. Like it's all parents, all moms do. The baby until they're 18. I like for him to step out a little bit older because his cousins are like 4 and like 10. I think I forget the exact ages, but
Oh,
they're
four.
older.
That's
So
like a peer, you know, almost.
he peer, but he's super tall and he does
Well,
things he can get on
right.
rides that Legend can't. So
Yeah,
Legend
that's why
would
I
normally
kind of
not
said
get on
sorta
them.
because
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little bit different.
that's still the age where a year makes a big difference, but they're
Yeah.
also like still only a year apart, you know.
Exactly. So it's cool. So it was a good trip, and now we're next week or yeah next Saturday we're actually going on another trip. Me and Trevi solo. My mom's flying out here to watch Legend for a week while we go to Cancun. So it'd be another time. So just again the routines are always changing,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah,
Is your mom ready for that?
she is. We prepped her.
She's
So
coming
I
by herself, not with your
yeah.
dad.
Yeah, just by herself.
Ooh,
It's easier because we have a lot of steps in my house, and my dad doesn't get up and down the stairs as well as he used to. So she's just come out for a little bit, spend some one-on-one time with him. But
that's
she's
brave.
ready. It'll be crazy, but she's ready. She said, she had three boys, so she's like, I've done this before. You guys were all three at one point, so nothing changes. But now we got tablets.
Yeah, parents will say things like that, but like you were three at one point, but it's like you weren't your current age at another point.
I told her that exact thing. Like you weren't also like 60 plus years old. You're like 20 in your 20s. Like it's a
Yeah,
difference. But I appreciate you watch them so we can go on a vacation. So, I'm
yeah,
not trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
deter her. I'm trying to make sure that she
Uh,
understands, but I
yeah,
still want to go on vacation.
yeah, not trying to discourage her. Like, well,
Exactly.
if you're sure, you're
Exactly.
sure, you feel good about this.
She
Yeah,
planned this trip was a Christmas gift for me and Trevi because we never really got a honeymoon because it was COVID and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of a small little honeymoon getaway
yeah,
for us. So she planned the trip for us and then she said, "I'll come watch him." I'm like, "Enough said. Say less," as the kids say.
sure, sure. It's a
So
sweet gesture for sure,
it
and I'm
is.
sure she'll.
Have more gray hairs when we get back.
Well, I was gonna say have memories for a lifetime, but
Yeah, with it, good
you
or bad.
know, she'll take some pictures. Hey, you're the one predicting doom. Hey, man, trust your kid,
Oh, I know my kid. Well, no,
or call for backup.
yeah, but the good thing is, and as you find out as they get older, like your kids are really only bad for you. They're not bad
Well, that's a
around
funny.
other people. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they're less bad around other people. Yeah, we already experienced that.
yeah. See, you know.
Um, but that's actually a funny story. I just thought like if you if both your moms were like, I want to watch the kids while you guys go on vacation, and they both showed up. That's like a funny movie.
That would
It's
be.
like both grandmas is like the title or something, and it's like a week of hijinks with a 3-year-old kid and two grandmas who are competing for it's like competing with each other. But
Yeah. Yeah.
at the end, everybody comes together. The two families come together. But
It sounds like you just wrote a script there, sir.
you get it. Yeah, definitely should have sold a pitch. So
Well, you
I
heard
didn't
it here
write the
first on
script.
the
Yeah,
pod.
you heard the pitch.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said, it's an interesting week. I forgot to say when my mom came to visit, we had to put our dog down also the week before.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was definitely tough,
Yeah, my
but he
condolences.
was like close to 18, 20 years old.
Wow.
Uh, but yeah, he was just struggling,
Mm.
really struggling, and had all kind of medical situations. I don't even really know, but yeah, so it was definitely tough to see him go, and definitely tough for my mom, and
That was Max, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember
and
Max. Yeah. My
she
condolences,
still
man.
she still got to deal with that and like live with that. The dog is not there every day, and
Yeah,
it was,
yeah,
but the timing of her trip was good because she got to spend a lot of time with Jordan rather than being in the house.
yeah. Take your
Uh,
mind off that. Yeah, that's tough, man. Anytime you lose a pet and a loved one, like pets are part of the family. So yeah, I definitely
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. Um, so yeah, we had two dogs die, two
Wow.
aunts visit, and a partridge in a pear tree.
It's you've had a quite an eventful, to say the least, couple weeks or it looks like last month. How are you settling now? Everything kind of getting back to a little more normal for you and for the fam?
Yeah, like I said, almost immediately on Saturday, we went back to well, we had done swim class the week before, but we
Mm-hmm.
missed 2 weeks when she was sick. So
Mm-hmm.
we went the week, and then my family left, and then we went that week, and that like normalized it right then
Yeah. Okay.
because swim class also makes everybody, me and her, really tired because we're in the
Yeah.
water. So then we like there was like extra sleep after class,
Yeah.
and that kind of like reset everything. So
Okay.
we're back in a pretty normal swing. We get through this yard sale, and of course, so as soon as my parents leave too, my mom leaves and my sister and nephew. The next day, like Sunday, the kid is like, "So I didn't want to do this when everybody was here, but I got some new skills now."
Oh
Speaking
no.
of, your son switching right as he turns 3, but she's like, "I can pull myself up to standing."
Oh, that's dope.
I was like, good for
Yeah,
you.
that's
She's like,
awesome.
I can make a few more sounds and I'm gonna make them a lot.
Recognizing her voice.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm also twice as aware. You thought I was really aware before for my age, but I'm like twice as aware now. And I need to
Wow.
touch and look at everything. And we're like, oh, okay, this is how it's gonna be. She's like, this is how it is from now
That,
on. We're like,
that's
okay,
crazy.
okay.
That
So
that's
yeah,
those career milestones that they go through. And again, like I said, it's you went to sleep one night, you woke up the next day, and it's like, oh, I just learned how to do it. Like, and they surprise themselves too because she stands up like, what, why is I'm so high off the ground? And they just fall down. Yeah, that's funny.
well, she's always yeah. She's always been a mountain climber too. So I'm definitely as she can do more. What kind of stuff she's trying to climb? I mean, they all climb, but she had a strong desire for it. Almost, you might call it an Olympian desire to climb.
That sounds good.
And it's like, girl, sit down. No, it's definitely good, but I got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those new skills they surprise you, and like you see her next time you should be on the
Well, they
table.
always want to do it after, like you said, he saw his cousins, and now he's like, check me out. I got more to do. When she saw a lot of family over the couple weeks, and like that change in routine, that uncomfortableness brings about a change, right?
Yeah,
That's what it, that's what it seems like.
yeah. Yeah, speaking of routine, we're the last day of Legend's first summer vacation. So he goes back to school on Monday. So we
You've been
made it through the first summer, which is
you've been waiting for this, right?
woo. And it's cool because yesterday we had his open house for his new class. So he went from the two class to the three class, and it's cool. He has the same teacher, so I think it's smart. Just getting comfortable with it'll be a new class but the same teacher. So I'm not sure if they do that normally just for that comfort level, but I think it's
Right.
a really good it's a really good transition for him. But yeah, the summer was a lot. Him being home 24/7, you're going to bed at 10 p.m. I'm like, I mean, it's fine. You just wake up at 8. Yeah, we threw him off the schedule, so we definitely got to get him back in routine. But today's his last full day of summer vacation, and he doesn't even
Yeah.
realize
Yeah.
it. You don't know. You don't know. Gonna go back to the strict 8:30 bedtime.
Yeah. So that's Monday. This Monday coming up.
Monday coming
This
up.
is
So
Friday. Yeah.
exactly, and we leave Saturday. So he goes to his new school on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My mom flies in Friday afternoon. She'll help us pick him up just to get used to kind of where his class, the school is at, his teachers, the admins, so they know to look out for him. Because then the next week, the second week of his school, she'll be picking him up and dropping him off for the whole week. So
Right.
just trying to get that routine set and everything because it's gonna be some new movements and new classes and some new time. So yeah, the routines are the most important thing at this age, and when you have family visits or vacations, they definitely get thrown off, and it takes a little bit of time to get back.
Yeah. I wonder about routines too. For kids at the age of our kids, the routine is its own form of control, I think,
Mhm. Yeah,
especially for parents. And I
yeah,
feel like kids, when you're that young, you still have a natural routine, I think.
hmm,
You just have to respond to your body, even though, as we talked before, you kind of have to teach them to sleep. They might
yeah,
not sleep if you didn't teach them. But otherwise, like more than like say a teen or an adult, like when they're hungry, they're really hungry.
hmm,
And just to keep like some kind of order in your own mind, you have to like do your best to come up with a routine that you can kind of hold to because everybody's different with like alarm clocks and schedules.
yeah,
And some people are really like, I have my times, I hit it to times, and people have more of a range of time.
hmm,
I think we're more like we kind of feel it out, especially in terms of sleeping, and let her sleep pretty much how long she needs to.
yeah,
So every day the times don't look the same, but if you chart it out, it's not. There's a consistency to it.
yeah. The number of hours is the same, but just when those hours are is
Yeah.
different. We're in that
So
same thing right now. Yeah, that makes sense.
so like just to stay sane, I guess that's why. parents are always talk about how important routine is. Like it's more important for us, I think, than them, I guess is my conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the babies, like I said, when they're hungry, they're gonna eat. They're not, the baby's not gonna cry to have a snack. Like the baby's crying because they're hungry. Like supposed to a teenager who like, I can eat something real quick.
Yeah,
So
get some
yeah,
chips
it's
or
like
something.
it's the normal cadence of sleep, eat, poop. They just do it normally. We create the routine to make us have some kind of semblance of sanity and semblance of control over the child versus the child having control over us at any point.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good call out.
Definitely. Just something another thing along the lines that's like, oh, it comes up so much. What do we is there a way to unpack that, or is that just the rule of the land? But always worth interrogating something.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask somebody who has a little bit older kid because yeah, like even now, like from 2.5 to
Well,
3, six
I
months
almost
later,
want
it's
to
a
ask
different.
somebody that like had multiple kids, but far
Yeah,
enough apart where they tried wildly different strategies. Is there anybody that like,
authoritarian versus not there at all.
yeah, was super strict schedule, and then 4 years later had the next kid and had no schedule and just completely random, or
Yeah,
vice
that's
versa?
tell you we should do a panel, man. We should just bring on like 6 dads and just like okay, go and just throw a question out and see how it goes. Because yeah, the parenting style does matter, and like you said, the personality of the parents and their attitudes towards certain things is definitely translated to how a child thinks
Well, I
about
guess
that sort of thing. Yeah.
the experiment is if you actually have twins and you treat them wildly differently as like an experiment.
Ooh, there you go. We need to find someone who's doing that just as a social
Yeah.
experiment.
Who's that cruel? You
Pretty
just had to
much.
understand. I'm a scientist. I had to know.
We'll mess up my
Um,
children for the betterment of humanity.
yeah.
That's
But
funny.
no, I guess that does happen if they're like giving up
Adopted,
for
yeah.
adoption. Yeah. Then they have different lives. I've
Is that like the
read about
Parent
some
Trap
stories.
or yeah, the Parent Trap or some of those movies like that.
I
One
read
one
about some of those kind
little
of stories where the kids kind of end up still the same, like just like each other, and they never met each other. It's like, oh, you get the same job, same
that's
spouse
funny.
looks the same.
One lives in like Iceland, the other one lives in like Africa, but still
Yeah,
living the exact yeah.
yeah, same lives. Anyway,
Yeah,
man, it's good catching up and
yeah, for sure, man.
getting back on track. Wish you the best of fun and on your late honeymoon,
Yeah, good
delayed
times.
honeymoon. We need like a socially like common phrase for that. Like we came up with staycation. It needs to be like the
Oh yeah.
honeymoon, the double. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to figure one out. But once you do,
Somebody else will think of
coin
it.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Got to coin it.
got
But
to
yeah,
coin
it'll
it and
be a
make
good time.
T-shirts.
Yeah, I know, right? This
And yeah,
generation
and
will totally understand that.
we're gonna get this yard sale popping. Hopefully, make money and get rid of some things, and
Yeah.
be good to clear out some shelves and drawers of this house, and then we'll see what we do next. A lot of work to be done in this old house,
Then replace
really.
it with other stuff.
That over time for sure.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
man. I'll talk to
all
you later.
right, sir.